Okay, so we have. Okay, so we have speakers. We have game audio. We're good. Now, it's been many days, and I've forgotten where we left off because I did do a little bit extra on. Ooh, what night was it? Friday night. I went in and did a little bit more adding to stuff. So, for example, I think I did all the purple stuff, the purple science, I think. Did I do that on stream? I can't remember if I did that on stream or not. But yeah, doing that just meant we had to sort of like do a little alteration on the labs. So keeping the one circle as is, but moving the labs from the inside to the outside. Plus that meant we could have more labs because there's more room. And then, of course, popping in a couple of extra belts for the newer sciences. Because there's one more to get. And so now we've got one there ready to go. Yeah, we've got a few guns on this end, which we had anyway. And then all the way at the other end of the planet, we had our nice little array here with the ray receiver actually picking the stuff up, and then the EMs all being ready to go. And if you get the right angle, there we go. You can actually see the. See, this is one thing that I just find cool is you can actually see from the planet. You can see the spheres. Well, you can see the swarm. It's not quite a sphere yet. Although we are working on that. I think that's what today's plan will be. So I do believe we're currently working on the launch site to send the things up. But we have got the tech ready for the creation of the plates and all the bits and pieces needed ready to send up. Oh, that's a nice shot. There you go. Let's hide that so we don't see it. Get a nice. Oh no, I didn't want to. There we go. Get a nice print screen of that because that might be a nice thumbnail to add onto this thing. Go even higher and have a proper look. That's a sight. So we need to go back down this way, I think. Oh, that was one thing I'd done. I upgraded our proliferator. Proliferate, yeah. The spray coat, I think. We were using Mark 1 proliferator. Now we've got it to Mark 2. And I spaghettied a giant thing all over the place so that it went to all the things like the sulfur plants to make our sulfuric acid, our plastic plants, everywhere like that. And it was already going into our solar sail area. Although one thing I was thinking of, now that we've got more ejectors... Oh, actually, though, before we did anything, we'd probably have to upgrade production of these things. Which we could. We seem to have enough stuff. But yeah, we could put another couple of these in. We would just need to tweak how this went up and over. So let's do that. Delete those two and redo them so they get their inserters automatically added. I mean, to us, we could just like simply just twist it around. And then do that. That works. And it would be nice if we could get getting the proliferator stuff going over here, but that would involve spaghettiing it all the way over here, and that's just going to be a pain. I mean, this is where the proliferator is being made. So the proliferator is being turned around and then is being added in to the things needed to make proliferator. And then depending on what the thing is, like for example this, the proliferator is being used to make extra product. But there are some other things that I'm using it for just like general production speed. Because it's more efficient to do it faster than it is to make more on some of these things. But we've got all of our like interplanetary logistics going up so that we can actually have titanium delivered to us now without having to fuck off to the other planets and pick it up and bring it back and do it all manually. But speaking of, since it's been a bit, let's go and have a look at the other planets and see what we've got. Oh, did I make the mistake of coming out without any extra fuel? I did, didn't I? I'm going to have to hope that there's some spare fuel at this planet. Just in case. I have got a stack of 97, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. I made the mistake of not cleaning out inventory first. But that's fine. We should be okay. There's at least coal on these other planets. It's just finding it before we run out of power. Oh, yeah. Speaking of power, this was where I was making the giant equator belt. I was going to put up just an entire belt of solar panels around the equator of this planet. Just so that we can then we've got energy transmission. So why not send it to space? That's what all these missing blueprints are. But at the other end of this massive line of... God, was it really this long? It was. God, I didn't realise I'd actually gotten so far in making this thing. Yeah, one of the things I was actually making at the other end was solar panels. So we've got plenty of them. We've got enough to finish the task. That was making accumulators. What were we missing? Oh, we were missing the crystal silicon. Which we do have here. So I have no idea why I had not set this up already. Was I thinking that this was the titanium planet, not the silicon planet? And I was planning on shipping stuff back from the main world back to here. Which I admit would have been hilarious and stupid on my part, which is perfectly on brand. Yeah, since we've got that filled and we are not making any more anytime soon, and these are all filled, we have plenty of these things to spare. Did I not? I didn't. I hadn't actually set you up. Right, so what else are we missing? You've got the energized graphite. You've got the magnet. Oh, they need the electromagnetic turbines, which I hadn't made yet. Need magnets, copper and iron. And there wasn't much iron on this planet. Now I know what I was... Yeah, that's... This entire thing here was not the problem. Delete litter. Because I think we already had the iron being made somewhere? Or was that on the type? It's been... Oh, there we go. That's what I was using. See, we have got the iron here. Which was making those. We've got the energized graphite. And we had iron plates. So let's get this sorted. Whilst we're here, let's see if we can figure out what the hell I was doing. Right, so we need magnets, which we have. We need energized carbon, which we have. We need electromagnetic turbines, which we don't have. Let's do that. So now we have the magnets and everything ready to go for those. Now the next step was making those electromagnetic turbines. So let's... can do them here. So let's go electromagnetic turbine. Copy and paste. What do we need? Magnetic coils. We have the magnets. We just need the copper, which we do have somewhere. I'm sure we have already set... Had we set a copper line up? That is the question. Yes, we have got a copper line over here. There we go, because that was going into feeding these assembly machines. So what we can do to get our copper is we can split this line. Because either assembler does not need that much. And to be fair, neither does this one. It's just for accumulators. Which aren't a massive deal. It just would be nice to have some just in case we need them. So let's bring the copper back here. So we're going to need a couple for magnetic coils. That's good. That's fine. We can do that easily. But let's make another one. And then... Can we fit? We can fit an inserter between there. Perfect. So let's get our magnetic coils going. Which would be those. And then in this, the electric motor. No, let's swap these around. With the electric motor at the end. And let's change how we're doing this. So we're going to want the electric motors fed into there. And magnets as well. No, not magnets. So those we've already got coming down here, and copper is already there as well. Perfect. So let's feed those. Then let's have them output onto here. Which would then feed into here. That is our magnetic coils. Don't need any iron for that. Those are for the other things. So what we can do is we can trim this off.
Oh well?
Hey, 8238616539. Welcome in. I'm hoping that's actually a person and not a bot, because that is a very suspicious sounding username. And let's build that over the top, because we don't need that in this line at the moment. We do need these gears. Which now we can sneak in here. We did need the iron there. Okay. That's going to cause an issue. How can we do this? Oh, and core energy is going to run out soon, so let's drop some stuff we are not going to need anytime soon. And of course we can also drop these down whilst we're here. Okay. I think I might have got an idea for this then. So rather than having that be the output, delete that, put it back, but move it one over. Oh, we could have done it before anyway. I think. Yes, they will output. A lovely bit of spaghetti. So let's fix what we had here, because it was already working fine to begin with. There we go. Let's just clear that belt off of those because we don't need them. So you have everything you need that are feeding in. There we go. All we need to do now is connect in our gears. At 1 and 2. And there we go. It's going to be slow, but I don't need many of these things. It's literally just feed these things. These. Ooh, we're actually a bit too far over. Let's redo that then. Put them one step closer. So turbines, copy paste. Inputs in, and then outputs just go across the entire thing. So those have been made fine. These are slowly being made fine, which makes those. And then those are feeding into here. This is what needed the crystal silicon. I knew something was needing it. I just couldn't remember what it was. There we go. And that would be those. Means the only thing left to do is find the nice little gap somewhere to slap in a storage. And then throttle the number of those we need. Okay, that was an impromptu bit of quick work that we had to do, but it's working. We will now have accumulators dealing with, just slowly being made whilst we're off doing other stuff. Right, next thing I was planning was figuring out these plates. Now, where are they? I've forgotten what they even look like. There we go, frame material. So high purity silicon is on this planet. So worth keeping that. That's fine. We have got titanium alloy being made, so we could request it to be delivered here. So we've got that already. And then carbon nanotube needs titanium and carbon. So going by that, it might be worth us sending the silicon to the titanium planet. And then I think, if I remember right, we did have some coal on the other one. Is this one. There is some coal. Not a lot, but there's some. What else do we need for the carbon nanotubes? It was graphene, which needed the sulfuric acid. Well, we were bringing that from another to one of the other planets already. Was that this one? No, that might mean that we were taking that sulfuric acid. Oh, actually, before we leave, let's grab more fuel. Because that would be the worst thing to happen, is just losing our fuel supply whilst we're in space. I did that last time, and that was a slow journey back. Please tell me I had a... Did I have a buffer for this? I did. Wonderful. So that's 4, and let's take a couple spare, just on the off chance that we need it. Probably won't, but better safe than sorry when it comes to getting stuck in the middle of space with no fuel. So you're relatively close. And whilst we're on our way there, we can marvel at the wonderful swarm that's been going. There's a lot of sails in the sky. I think we were up to 12 different orbits. I would have to double check, but I think it was 12. Yeah, I think 12 is how many we were using, but I had made all the other ones just ready to go. Yeah, I think the Silicon Planet, we already have shipping the high-grade silicon out. So we should just be able to request it. From here. Let's see, what have we got going? We've got the alloy. We need that. We had requested that, which was coming out here. Ah, that was it. It was to make the alloys. Okay. So the high purity silicon. Let's request that. Also, we don't need logistics vessels being stored. I thought we would, But honestly, there's no point in it. It's a waste. We can just store them. Don't... Oh, that was not what I wanted to do. Never mind. We could just store them directly into storage because at the moment we don't need many. I'd set the thing up thinking we were going to need, like, we could just keep funneling them in, kind of like how Factorio does it. That, you know, as long as you have a logistics system, it would keep bringing stuff, but that is not the case. I'm being really clumsy today and demolishing the wrong stuff. Right, there we go. And click that. So put those in. That's coming in. Those are coming in. And then you go into there. We do not need that many. We like literally need one stack at most. But yeah, what we really need is just more storage for the logistics vessels, so that they can bring more sulfuric acid per trip. Do we have that somewhere? Logistics carry capacity. Yes, we do. And we can also do that. And that one. Oh, we can actually do all of them. Including that one. Took a lot of research, but we have the stuff. It's just here. Logistics 7 is where we can't do it. But honestly, I think that will be worth it in the long run. Just so we can start making these things more... Because at the moment, they can only, I think, carry 200 at a time. Which, if it's planetary, fine. But sending it across the solar system to the other planets, it takes time. And it wastes so much time. So if we can double, triple, quadruple, quintuple, and sextuple our capacity on these things, brilliant. So right, we need a chemical plant for the next bit. I am tempted just to set this entire thing up as its own separate factory. So its own separate titanium line, because we do have one spare. We do have one spare. So I could just cut this off and have this go to its own separate thing. So let's think how we would do this. Because we do want to be able to make these plates with a decent amount of time, so it's not going to take us like 1,000 days to get some swarms going, to get the sphere going. You were the graphene. And this is a planet that doesn't have a lot of coal. Did we have another tower? We didn't. Because having another tower would make it a lot more useful. Right, let's head back to the main planet. Pick up a bunch of stuff we're going to need. You are that way. So let's try and veer away from the sun a bit because that will slow us down as we go past. So we can dump everything that we've got on us. Apart from, we'll keep the conveyors, obviously. We're always going to need conveyors. And, you know, assemblers and sorters and founders. We need those. We need to pick up some chemical plants. And then need to think of the... We can do a little bit whilst we're here. So let's say we've got that. That one, easy. It's just silicon being made into the purity. That's fine. We've already got that sorted. The alloy. The big one on that is needing the sulfuric acid. Which means we need more oil production. Steel and titanium. We've got that going on the other planet already. That's fine. Carbon nanotubes. There is this other recipe, but what are you made in? Oh, that's just yeah, that's a totally separate crystal that we have to... A rare crystal vein that we find. Okay, so we can't do it that way. We'd have to do it the classic way of titanium and graphene. But graphene also requires sulfuric acid. So two of the products that we need for this require that acid. And the only planet with enough coal to make a decent amount of graphene is this one. Oh, we are actually getting quite full on oil. All that oil was being used to make plastic. Can we use the spare to make our sulfuric acid? Do we have coal nearby? We do, but it's mostly being used. I think we might be able to use some of this. Wait, what am I talking coal? It's not coal we need, it's stone. What am I thinking? I'm so used to thinking of... I saw coal down here and thought, oh, that's what we're after, but no. We need stone. Water we have nearby. That's a nice easy one. We have stone over here. So if we can bring that stone over and some water, we have got so much spare oil over here that it is ridiculous. We can just swap these two belts to go the other way. So that it comes out here. It'll get split off into two separate ways going that way. And then some of this oil can then go. So flip that path. and flip that path. Let's break that. Pull you out. You go over. And delete the litter. Right. So there's oil. We have got a decent amount of miners on us, so we can get this done as well. Try and squeeze as much out as we can. I'm actually going to try building it in this nice open area here. So we would need chemical plants. And you'd be making the sulfuric acid. We'd come down there. We'd also then need another line. Bring down the water. Which we can pull over from over here. Might just be worth us of like trying to flatten the shore off a bit with some concrete. So let's go pick up some more stuff, drop off what we have. We do have a lot of sulfuric acid going over there, but more. We just need more. As much more as we can manage. And plus we've got Proliferator quite nearby as well. Actually, is that oil... That oil should already be... Oh, no, it's not. It's because it... Yeah, we're proliferating it after it comes out of that main tank. So we would need to bring the proliferator around. Make sure it's going to not only the oil, but also the water and the stone. So we can either get more speed or more product. Either way works. As long as we've got enough stuff going in, production speed's good. So if we've got full lines, brilliant. If we don't have the full lines, then we could just do extra product. So I've got these couple of storages here for the junk. We want water pumps, we want smelters, we don't need the extractors and the refineries or the labs. don't need any more thermal power plants for now, or storage tanks. Keep the regular storages, keep the splitters and the sorters, and conveyor belts. That should be good enough. Make sure we've got a full stack of those. We do want the concrete. That's one thing we do want to take with us. Which is here. Where was I storing it? There it is. That should be enough, I think. And did we have chemical plants in our line? I think we did. I think we added them in. Yep, there we go, chemical plants. One stack of those. Let's get more arc furnaces because we will need them probably. Everything else I think we're fine with. So let's see if we can't hash out a little system to make a crap ton of acid for us. Because we're going to need it. It might even be worth making the graphene here as well whilst we're at it. So stone would come down here. Water would come down here. Those can feed in. Since we don't have these automated, let's grab a few more spray painters. We need one there to spray the oil. And then we would want them between the stone and the water, and then our chemical plants. Let's pour that through. And then we'll just keep that for there for now. So not sure, because if we do the graphite here as well, or the graphene, when we are close to where we're making the graphite, and we have a lot of it, so if we also did the graphene at the same time, it would mean we didn't need to rely too much on the extra sulfuric acid we're sending to also do this job. It could all be used to make the alloy. Oh, these aren't close enough. There we go. So if they make 4 every 6 seconds, that means we'd get 6 acid every 9 seconds. So to get a full belt, we would need, if my thinking is right, we would need 9 of these. So we would need to tweak where we're bringing the oil from. So bring it from there instead. And then obviously we'd need to move the spray paint. Oh, you can build those on the... Also built it on the wrong bit. That's just silly. So what we can do with this is we can drop down a little splitter. Bring you down. And then take you up. Oh, more carry space for the logistics vessels. Perfect. And we can bring you... Let's raise it up here. There we go. So once it's powered, we'll be spray painting not only the stone, but also the water. Speaking of water, it's about time we got that set up. Let's try and straighten out the coastline a little bit. We can try and fit as many of these on as we can. I would love logistics, but I never set it up because I didn't think it'd be worth it. But I'm sad to say it would have been worth it, and I don't want to sort of stop what I'm doing to go and fix that together, to make it just for the sake of a few water pumps. Are we really that desperately low on power? We are. So let's delete these for now. We know we've got room for the 9, which we need. So let's set up our inserters and sorters. Just, it's such a habit calling them inserters, because they insert stuff. Okay. Let's put this all the way down as here as well. Then we can clone this and have all of its sorters attached, which saves us some work. I can put this in, but I'm going to have to do these differently. And we do also need to connect the rest of our stone together. Or at least get the full belt worth. Would you be a full belt or not? I don't think you will. Once the stockpiles run down. Nope, we are going to need the other ones. And just for the sake of making sure we'll never run out of stone, let's connect that 5th one up as well. So stone and water are going through getting painted. Our oil is going through and getting painted as well. Everything is making our delicious soft drink of sulfuric acid, which is then getting dumped out here. And I've just realised that's all flipped the wrong way. So let's reconnect that. So really, we need another couple of these things. So buildings, logistics towers. We can do one. We do have processors. I think we had those being made over here. Yeah, we had them being made really slowly. And I never did set up a buffer for the steel either. Let's do that now. The chance of us needing a lot of it is slim, but let's at least get 10 stacks worth of it stored. Then we need 40 processors. We can make them by hand, but we don't have much stuff to actually make them with. Because the hold-up is making these. So ideal world, we just have another long row of these. What are you using? You're using the high-grade silicon and copper. The copper was coming from there. Okay, so yeah, I couldn't extend it that way even if I wanted to. We'd have to rework all the copper pathway, which would be a pain. Right, so we need 40 of these to finish off another one. So if we have a dedicated one just to ship sulfuric acid and graphene up to the titanium planet, then we can make nanotubes on that planet. We're already making our titanium alloy on that planet. And we can also ship some high purity silicon up there from our third planet. That would then be our frame materials. We would then need to make solar sails, which is more graphene and photons. Oh, this is adding up to some stuff. I wonder if it might be worth just doing it on this planet now. We're already shipping titanium here. So rather than shipping the sulfuric acid away, we could just make the titanium alloy and graphene here. Use titanium that we've already shipped over here with the graphene to make our nanotubes. We're already shipping titanium alloy here, so we should have stocks of that. We're already shipping this here as well. So that'll be all the frame materials. We'd already have graphene for solar sails here anyway. And we can always expand on what we make on these three. Yeah, we can simply just add in more prisms. Because that looks to be the thing that's making these things take the longest time at the moment. So we could just go whoop, and double the production. And of course, currently we're not using proliferator on these. So we could bring that over as well, increase productivity rate even more. Let's make sure these things actually... Actually, are they? No, those don't need it. What am I doing? It's not those that need it. Yeah, now that's backed up. Just from adding another couple in. But if we can add proliferator to the circuits and the prisms, we could then do the extra products or production speed, which would then increase the output even more. We could then split that off. Some can go to where it's currently going, which is making the solar sails, which are being shut off to make the current swarm. And then half of them can then be shipped off to somewhere over here. Wherever we had that sulfur stuff being made. We could make it over here. Yeah, we've got loads of this stuff stored. Because we've also been making that here anyway. So if we could sort that out, and even if we don't have many being built for now, because obviously we don't have the research to shoot them up into space yet, but we can stockpile them so that once we have that tech, we can just start shooting them out. I mean, what are we missing? It's pretty much all the normal stuff, so that's just going to slowly... Let's not bother with that last tier of it, because we can wait for that. But let's see, what could we do? We need a frame material. We will need a solar sail. And then all of these would go into making this, which are components. So we need 3 of each every 8 seconds. If we want to be fancy about it and have it all. So that can make 1 every 6. So 3 of those should easily be able to outfit that enough. That's 2 every 4 seconds. Let's give them a bit of space between them whilst we're figuring this out. So that'll be enough to completely sort it in terms of those. And what was the last thing we needed was those processors. We can easily make circuit boards. We've got plenty of iron, plenty of copper to do a full line of those just for this. And again, we've got copper and we've got the high-grade silicon, so we can make an entire belt for that. So we'd need 2 lines going in for this. We need 2 going in for this. And 3 going in for this. And then an output for each one. And because I like the spaghetti, I'm doing it this way. Oh no, at least let's try and make it look at least a little bit nice. Go there, and then you would this way. Wow, am I actually able to get assemblers for a change? That's new. Not that happened for a while. And again, we've not really been planning buildings before. Not sort of like mini factories just for one single job. And then what we could have there is that could dump them out. We could put in a usual buffer. So that whilst they're not being used, we can start storing a bunch of them ready to go. Yeah, really now all we need to do is actually connect all these lines up to the things we need. The thing about it, we are using the better belts, so we could double up on all of this. And then we could have two fabricators running at the same time. So sort of put another one there. And then also double up on this. That could work. And then whilst we're waiting on all the research to get done, we can just be stockpiling as many sphere parts as we can. So what are we going to need on here? We need circuit boards and microcrystalline. Alright, let's just go and restock on those assemblers, because we're going to need at least another stack, if not two. I'm lost. Where are we? This way. Assemblers are there. Just take both stacks. Might as well. Chances are we will need them. Or at least the most of one stack we'll probably end up using. So, land. Let's see, these belts can deal with, I think it was 12 at a time. Yeah, 12 per second. So, circuit boards. You make 2 every 1 second. So if I had 6 of you, you would make 12 every second. And I probably will end up like cutting all this out as a blueprint and shifting it at some point, because I'm realizing now that we I did not realise I was going to actually be building out this much. I was going to build all this stuff separately elsewhere, but it might be nicer just to try and make a mini factory that's a little bit efficient for once, rather than, you know, this madness of just spaghetti everywhere. Oh, and also think about it, we'd want proliferator on all three of these, because that way we could set these to be extra product as well, so we get even more of the swarm parts, sphere parts. Right, so for these we would need 2 belts going in. For the iron and the copper. So that's easy enough. And the other one was microcrystalline, which was copper and silicon. So let's see what ratio we need for these. There you are. So you make 1 every 2 seconds. So I'm going to need 12 of these. No. 12 would make 12 every 2 seconds. If I want a full belt, I'm going to need 24 of these things. Jesus. Right, so a line of 6 would need to use 12 every 2 seconds. Which would work for a single belt with extra. So theoretically, all of this could be all 12 of... We could just have 2 lines of 12 instead of 4 lines of 6. Since we have the upgraded belts. Yeah, if we did that, we would definitely need to find a nice longer space to put it all. Doing all of it near the pole would probably be a good idea as well. Because that way we can, when we have the vertical launcher... Well, they're saying that. I don't know how well the vertical launcher is going to work. It just shoots them into orbit. We're also going to have to make that green stuff and the quantum chips for this as well. Currently, we're only making 1/3 of the carrier rocket in this small little factory, which is... It's endgame tech. It makes sense to require this much effort. It's more effort than we've put into any other part of what we've done so far. Right, I'm just going to cut all this out for now. Yeah, let's... Oh, no. Undo that. I didn't want to get rid of those. So just get rid of that. And let's get rid of... Might as well get rid of the shortest thing, right? We've got to do a whole setup for it anyway, so... So I'm going to use that. And let's see, where would be good? Blueprint areas can't be divided by the tropic lines. Oh yeah, because if we try to put the blueprint here, it just gets all squished down in. So yeah, we'd need to build it somewhere around here. Make sure it had enough room. Did that blueprint not save? It didn't, did it? I didn't set it up to save. Because I'm an idiot. I just did use now. Do that again. So, save that blueprint. That'll do for now. We'll check it's there. It's there. Right, let's demolish all this. And go and find a better place to plan this out with more room. But I said what we can do, since we do have the tech, is we could make use of the planetary logistics if we wanted to. This looks like a nice area to complete the concrete over. Will that be enough? We are running out of foundations on us. But we do have 3 full boxes of the stuff if we need it. Yeah, I think I went a little bit overboard on making foundations and concrete. Right, where is the next tropic line? Oh, and there we go. Out of foundations. Right. Let's pick up our blueprint and go from where we left off. So if we can't go across, Then let's pop you smack in the middle. So we need 2 going in for these as well. On each side. And that would make 12. So we could have a full line. Oh dear, we're out of power. Dump a bunch of those down so we can recharge easily whilst we're doing this. And we would need the double line coming in on this side as well. Right, so entire line of that, entire line of these. Those would both feed into making the entire line of those. Graphene we can make a load of, because we're going to have that sulfuric acid set up. These we can make a bunch of these as well. What was that secondary one for? Where was that made? Cannot made in replicator? Yes, fine. What is it made in? It's made in an assembler, but it needs some weird crystal. Oh, that's more rare vein. Okay, so ignore that. Hey, Snooze. How you doing? Welcome in. What are you all godding at? I mean, you've not even seen the swarm yet. You can see it from the planet. Oh, on God. I misread that as oh God. Okay. So for the sales, we needed. If we were going to do 6, that actually isn't that many. That's 6 graphene and 6 photon things every 4 seconds. That's not much. I'm not doing too bad, you know. Average Tuesday, to be honest. Well, almost average Wednesday in 10 minutes time. Actually enjoying the fact that we've got to sort of we've got to a good point in this now. We're actually getting to the point where we're starting to put together our actual spheres. We've got a bunch of the swarm going already. Ready for now. Yeah, I'm just over-engineering the solution to make the final product so we can actually make them with a decent time. And also, I want to then turn this into a blueprint for a final factory so that we can just input the stuff that's needed and boom, new factory. Possibly do on other planets if we have the stuff to do it. So we were going to double up this. I like that. Yep, it do. I've got it running with quite a lot of different orbits going. Rather than sending them all on the same one, I thought it might look prettier if there was a bit of difference to it. When we can look at it from a different thing. Look, yeah, we're very much making it look like just a very large atom at the moment. I think with all of this, it's still barely making as much as some of our just planetary power stations. And we've got almost 7,000 sails in orbit. So, yeah. Not exactly the best thing at the moment. But that's what the sphere's for. To completely encase the sun. Right, so. Sails, what do we need again? So we need those purple things, which are these. That makes 1 every 3 seconds. And we need 6 every 3 seconds. So we can just make 6 of those. And that'll be enough for that. It needs 2 prisms and 1 circuit every 3 seconds. How to assemble this bit is the question. Prisms are 2 every 2 seconds. And we need 2 every 3 seconds. So we're going to need, what, four of them just to make prisms. And then 2 of them to do circuits, I think. That makes 2 every 1 second. So having 2 of them would make 4 every second. And we need 6 every 3 seconds. So we'd be getting 8 every... Hang on, let me double check. So 4 every second, 8 every 2 seconds. So easily enough for that. That's fine. We can deal with 2. And then 4 of them set to prism. Essentially makes 1 every second. That would make 4 a second. And we need like 6 every second and a half. So that would be just enough. Let's that. Then do that. And of course we would need iron and copper to go into here. And then glass to go into there. Let's pretty up some of these. Okay. That'd be solar sails done. To pull these out. And then we're just going to bring the graphene in from elsewhere. Because effort. And that last one is the frame parts, which is the one that's going to take a lot more work but we can do a lot of it. Or in fact, two of those things are already been made sort of away from here anyway. So let's double up as planned. Yeah, the carbon nanotubes we can make from the graphene. Because we're going to have graphene coming from there as well. So we can split the graphene off in like a 1:3 ratio. With the 3 graphene, add it to a titanium to get our nanotubes. We have our titanium alloys. And we have our high purity silicon. Those are already made and being manufactured or being delivered to this planet. So that's decent. That's easy enough to cope with. We just need to link it all together. Were you? You were the high purity silicon. Well, isn't that lucky? You get to get stolen. Oh yeah, I forgot. Those can be reconnected now. Is there anything flammable nearby? Or do I have anything flammable on me? I have more oil. Good. That works. Right, let's link up this silicon. You can just go there. Hmm. No, it's not yet worth going into logistics drones. It will take an extra we'd have to sort of deviate off track from what we're currently doing to work out how to do that separately, and I don't really feel like doing that really at the moment. I mean, it's not much different from the planetary ones. So we might be able to just knock it together on the on the titanium world. But that would be effort. Right, you are smelting for coal and stuff. Did you have? You do have a bunch left over. Give me that energetic graphite so I can have power without having to stand still. Speaking of power, we've got to deal with the power situation as well at some point, because once this is all connected, it's going to make it even worse. Right, so we've got the silicon coming in. Where was our... There it is. So where is our interstellar logistics? Because that is where the titanium is kept. Make it nice and tall so it can go over everything. And boom. That will be titanium alloys connected. So last but not least is our carbon nanotubes. Now the fun part of that is remembering where we were actually building that stuff. Right, it was at the end of the planet that had the most railgun spaces. That much I remember. There we go. Over here. Oh good, we weren't far away from it. Yep, so this was making sulfuric acid. And it has been doing that wonderfully. I wish I'd have realised I got it set up to be actually working. Because if I had, I would have put a buffer in already so we could start making sure that we had a stockpile. Right, so now this needs to get mixed with energized graphite. Which, as it happens, we have right next to us. You need to go there. So if I delete that one. We can split this off. Right, graphene is also chemical facility, so but what I will do is if I shift it further down, do I have the stuff to make more spray coats? I have one. What would be missing from there? Copper, I think. How lazy can we be? Let's just go back to just mining the damn thing. We only need enough to make one more of these things. Or do we? Let's see. Saying that, we probably do need to make 4 more, because we're going to want to have 1 on each of these. Oh no, I've already got it on there, haven't I? I remember now. Yeah, I've already got those 3 sorted. That's fine. Just have a quick drink. And noticing my throat's being a little bit horrible today. I think the all of the talking is starting to catch up with me, considering how little I've done talking wise over the past 3 years. My voice is starting to notice that I'm using it, and it's unhappy with that. But let's just build all 6 of those. We will need them. In fact, we'll probably need a good number of them, because I want to put it on every single input into this big factory. Yeah, that is our titanium alloy going over there now. That's wonderful. Right, so let's drop those in. Which direction are you going? I might just be able to... take you through and come through the other side. So we don't even need a massive rerouting of that. So now both of those will get painted, which will mean we can have these, which will be the graphene. And let's put a few spares in for good measure. The ones at the end might not get enough materials to do anything, but if that's the case, so be it. There is our graphene. Perfect. As always, let's get a buffer going. So no, you need to be mixed with titanium. Which is actually coming out here really close by. I mean, I'm making some nanotubes here, but not many. And those are also, I think, going towards research items. So you don't really want to take it out of that. But we aren't using this much. We probably could deal with losing a little bit on this line. Looks like we might have... Nope, can't fit that in there. Try a different way. No, that wouldn't work either. Could do this. Connect you back up. Connect you in here. And then bring you out there. Okay, that works. Let's put that up and over the top. There we go. So let's see. Carbon nanotubes. Again, they're in the chemical facility. So oh, that's graphene. We're already making that. We need nanotube. Put you on the inside. Oh my god, we've run out of conveyor belts. That's an unexpected thing. So let's go grab more. We are using quite a lot of them up for this. And the buffer. Perfect. So again, if we could get what do you call it down here, that would be brilliant. Get some of the proliferator down. So you're already getting dealt with. Yeah, I've actually got a fair. The last time I played, I kind of did the same as you. I got to a certain point, then just gave up. Whereas this time round, since I've got a bit of an incentive to carry on with the whole streaming it, I have actually been able to get to a point where um, we've created a giant molecule in space with a swarm, and currently in the process of making sure we've got all the components together to start building our actual sphere. Oh god, now again, I've got to. The problem about building all this stuff in separate parts on the planet, I've now got to remember where the hell I'm taking this stuff to. Right, over here. So, up we go. Yeah, considering how long I've had this game and how much more how much more pretty it is compared to Factorio, you would think this would be the game that I have all of the hours in. But no, because this doesn't have the mods yet. As soon as this is finished and it starts getting some proper mod support, I think this will be insane to play. To play with mods. How? Okay, we're getting that. Getting that. Like just the fact things like you could, depending on how they do the mod support, you could have entire like planetary generation. And like mod how the planets are generated and how the ore veins are located and what turns up on what planets, and which on the one hand means you could make it so that every planet has all of the stuff, which would make it easier for new players. And then on the other hand, you can have it so that it's really hard. One planet will have nothing but titanium on it, and so you have to like properly prepare to send stuff there. Right, okay, I've made these carbon tubes. Where the hell were they going again? Was it these? Okay, it was going to this one. Wonderful. Yeah, that's the point I'm at now. It's starting to get to a point where it's like I've spent like the past 2 hours trying to like put together this monstrosity of a factory just to make a single thing with automation. Because we need to build Dyson Sphere components. I started off designing it for just the frames, and then realised that we have to use the frames in these. So I've now had to build a factory that makes all three of these to feed into that. We've just got all of the stuff in for one item. Now that the carbon nanotubes have got over here, we have finally got all of the things here. Got our high-grade silicon, titanium alloys, and our carbon nanotubes, which, this, to be fair, these were the most complicated ones. Because these ones, the solar sails, we can make all the stuff here in a line. We just need to connect stuff that we're already making. So literally for these two, we just need iron and copper. We've got that. And then these, we just need glass, which we've got. So once that, it's just a case of connecting those, and that one's already good to go. Speaking of, where was that being made? That was being made not far away. And most of it was being buffered. So we have a lot of it. Have I been using... I have. I've been using... For some of these, I've been using the crap stuff. For most of these, I've been using the crap stuff. Oh my... Use the good belts! We have, like, thousands of them. And I've made this entire thing predicated on the fact that we're using the good belts. And one thing I love about this that Factorio doesn't have, flip the path. Flip the path. Just change the direction of the entire conveyor belt all in one go. Right, so let's... So you need to go through the outermost one for the glass to go and make prisms. Okay, I don't have that. The Buddha means I've got it upgraded as much as I can. Right. So now I need iron and copper. copper is coming up and around there. So if I shifted this power tower, I could just continue bringing out this copper line from here. Which would save a bit of effort. Of course, I would like to upgrade it so it all comes faster. In which case, the only thing that needs to come out is iron. With belts only, please. Okay, so pull the iron out. And then once everything's powered and connected, we can connected. Let's make sure it is actually connected. So iron and copper will be going into here. With the circuits. Glass going in to make the prisms. Those then feed out here and go back into these to make the plasma. Which will then feed out to go to the next bit. Which is the solar sails. And we do have the graphite as well. We should be making enough at the other end of our carbon nanotube line. So if there is any left over, we can bring that out as well. I mean, I'd at least like to get everything connected before I stop today. Maybe get it to the point where we've made our first Dyson Swarm component. Oh, and the batteries are dying. Luckily, the batteries died right next to a charging station. And let's see, once this is connected, that should be the solar sails finished. They will start being made. Assuming we power everything. So I think that'll probably be the next best thing to do, would be actually set some power lines down to everything so it can start buffering up some components. Right, so we're going to want to go up and over the top of here. And then... Way. And we've run out of Mark IIs. Luckily, we're right next to the place where we have more of them. Oh, that is taking time to make more. Is there... What's holding that back? Mostly power, I think. Thankfully, everything's still running. It's just running slowly. I mean, my next major thing will be to set up some proper power generation so these things work better. And here we go. Bring that all down and upgrade what was there. Solar sails are good to go. And let's be lazy, and rather than doing these all separately, just do one of them. And then copy it. That way we don't have to set the inserter sorters up for everything. The sales are going in. I haven't actually put an output for this yet. That would be why there's nothing made on there yet. I do want to make the normal buffers though. So how can I fit these in? Won't need all of that. Can I fit? Technically, yes, but it's terrible. If I extend this out a bit, though, we'll be fine. As with pretty much any major project that I have at the end, the thing I always say is, it's not pretty, but it bloody works. And then we can fit the buffer for the last one. Here at the end. Oh, am I running out of sorters as well? I am, aren't I? Yep, overshot that. Go. New stack of those. So, yep, there we go. We've got our frame components going too now. So, last thing to do is get all these things going. Planet is looking pretty planety, apart from the fact that, I did concrete, like, a good chunk of it. I don't want to concrete all of it as much. I do want to concrete all of it, but I also need access to water. So we just needed purity silicon and copper to go into here. And iron and copper into there. But we have iron and copper already here. So if we tweak this a little bit... Actually, let's do it the other way around. If we bring that out, and the iron out, bring the glass over the top, we don't need to faff about with bringing more lines in, because we've already got it. Which means the only thing we've got left to deal with is the silicon and the copper for these last two lines of factories. God, I'm going to be completely dead tomorrow at this rate. Well, I'll say tomorrow, today, later on. Got to be awake at 8 o'clock so that the people who do the water meters can come and double check to make sure I'm all running properly again. Power plants were over here, which means that's where my buffer of fuel was. So let's restock on that. Right, so let's think, where was... There it is. We need some high purity silicon to come from over here. Which currently is this one. So let's make a nice little cut here. Up in the splitter. Oh, I've gone too far. Out of building range. Right, so that's the high purity silicon. We just need more copper. Which we could theoretically get from here. But before I do anything like that, make sure all of this is set up so that we're not completely ruining our chances of doing this properly. I did try and get the ratios of things being built properly, but not sure. So from there, those go in. Then the microcrystallines would go in. And then the processor would come out. So going in, going out. I think, apart from connecting some last bit of copper over, that we might almost be done. So copper's connected. Only thing left to connect is this long line. And then, of course, we need to make sure it's upgraded so it's a decent speed. And now, touch wood, when this silicon gets there, well, yeah, I've never noticed that it has got that little weird macro lens type effect on some of these things when if you get too close. Oh, here it comes. There's our microcrystalline components. They're going into there. I do think means that we have Dyson swarms. Our first Dyson Sphere component is complete. We only need another gajillion of them. Yeah, we could actually fit another one of these in. And double up production. It's going to be relatively slow because some of the inputs are not going to be as fast as we want them. Because at the moment, obviously, our power situation is... Oh! Apparently perfect. Didn't expect that. I thought we were going to be quite in the red in terms of power. But there are some things like, obviously, this line of glass is not anywhere near the level, the speed at which we want it to be bringing glass in. The last one, the last one is just never getting enough. Well, it's rarely getting enough stuff to do one, and we want all four of them working at full. And likewise, because of the prisms not being made fast enough, some of the, like the ones of these at the end, are also struggling. It's still making stuff. It's fine, but we could increase the efficiency by just making sure more stuff is turning up on the belts. Which would probably mean having to upgrade our smelting facility and doubling up what we've got. And then connecting the two little smelting factories together. I don't think as yet we have got... Oh, we do have the better furnace. It's going to be a pain to make a bunch of them. That's the problem. So really our next step is to finish off the vertical launching research. Oh, I'm also out of storages. Who would have thought? Yeah, so the next thing we'd want is finishing off this tech and then working on the other two components to make these things. So green tube and quantum. So quantum chips. We need to do the processors all over again. And also plane filters, which involve Casimir crystals, which I've never done before. So that's going to involve graphene, titanium crystal, and hydrogen. So we're going to have to increase our hydrogen production for those. So that'll be fun. And then the other thing we would have to do is green tube, which is deuterium fuel rods. So alloy we've already got, that's fine. We are already making these on the titanium world. If we can also make deuterium on the titanium world, we could actually just make these off-world and ship them all in, which would save a lot of messing around. Let's double check that titanium world and see, did it have oil? Titanium was 0, so that's the silicon world. Titanium. And it doesn't look like it had oil. Yeah, crude oil comes out as a separate one at the bottom, so let's just double check. No, no crude oil there. No crude oil there. So we'd either have to ship oil to the other planet, crack it, and then put it together into deuterium. So yeah, we're looking at 10 hydrogens to make 5 deuteriums. Makes sense. 10 molecules go into, well, 10 atoms go into 5 molecules of 2 each. That actually makes sense for once in terms of recipes. But we need to make particle colliders for those. Ooh, oh, there's the... We are next to a gas giant. And there was... I wonder, have we not researched it? We might not have researched it yet. But there was... somewhere... Gas giant exploitation, that was it. So we could make an orbital collector. Which would possibly gather deuterium directly from the gas giant. I don't know how efficient it is. I've never got this far. But it might be worth trying. I mean, bare minimum, we can at least get the quantum chips starting to work on those. Because it's good, judging by how long it's taking to do some of this research, it's going to be a while before we get to that point anyway. So it might well be that I let a bunch of the research happen off stream. Just like leave it running tomorrow while I'm at work or something. Just so we can progress the research a little bit so we're not having to sit and wait for the next bit to work on. And plus, of course, we want to get the gas giant thing to try and get that set up. But I think for now, we've managed to do what we set out to do today, which is these. Getting the Dyson Sphere stuff done. So I think I will save. And I will call it there for the day. Because it is 1:15 in the morning now. And like I say, I do have to wake up at like 8 o'clock. So I've got to be awake in 7 hours. So let's see. Is there anyone on? Oh, there's... no one online really that I know well enough to raid. So yeah, I think we'll call it there. We've got plenty done. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to the lurkers. Thanks for Joshy and Snooze for popping into chat, keeping me company. Tomorrow is another stream day, and it's going to be long dark again, I think, if we're going to alternate. So I'll see you tomorrow, or later today for me. So take care, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.